Years before Sarah stepped into that cursed room, it was home to a man named Jacob, a drifter who had nowhere else to go. The motel was run down even then, a place where people stayed when they wanted to be forgotten. Jacob had rented the room for one night, just long enough to catch his breath and figure out his next move. But when the sun rose the next day, something kept him from leaving. The room felt alive, its walls pulsing with a cold, sick energy. Jacob chalked it up to nerves. But every night, the sensation grew stronger. The once faint whispers became clearer, like hushed conversations just beyond his hearing, always too low to make out the words. Yet one phrase began to repeat itself over and over, "Stay with us." He laughed it off at first, just an old building creaking, right? But the longer he stayed, the more time seemed to bend. Days would pass in a blur, with Jacob barely remembering eating or sleeping. The mirror in the corner, smeared with age, always seemed to catch something moving behind him, even when the room was still. A shadow too tall to be his own. Then came the knocking. It started late at night, always 3 sharp raps on the door. When he opened it, there was no one in the hall, just a suffocating darkness that seemed to swallow the flickering light above him. He tried to leave once, packing his things in the early morning before anyone else was awake. But when he opened the door to go, the hallway stretched out before him, impossibly long, twisting and dark, leading nowhere. Jacob never made it out. He wasn't seen or heard from again. The motel's owner found the room empty one morning, the bed neatly made, the window sealed shut. But the mirror was cracked, a single black handprint smeared on the glass. The room sat vacant for years after that, though locals whispered about what really happened to Jacob. But in time, his story faded, just another ghost lost to the shadows. That is until Sarah arrived.